Not really, because we were quite frustrated at the end of the last game because I thought we played quite well and we didn't quite get a positive result. The breaks are always useful to getting injuries back, but I think we was on a bit of a good forward momentum, and we would have liked to have played straight away just to get that frustration out of our system.
If you look at who your relegation rivals play this weekend, difficult away games for Hull, Sunderland, Villa, Burnley play Leicester. Do you see this as a key week in the running?
I think they're all key now. The last month or so, they're all key. I mean, we're not really worrying about what they're doing. We know we just got to get some positive results really in the next month.
You're after positive results, obviously. Do you have an opinion on whether you want Burnley or Leicester to win? Is that a draw for you? Do you care?
I just care if we win, if I'm being honest, and whatever happens in the mix, we can only take care of our own game really, and if we don't get good results, it's not going to matter what they do.
As things stand, how many points in these final games do you think would keep you up?
I'm not sure, but obviously if you win 3 games, you're probably going to stay up, but I'm not sure if it's 3 or 2 or 2 and 1 or whatever it is. As long as we're above the line, come the end of May, then I'll be happy.
Harry Redknapp has said he's been talking about the late goals. He said QPR must stop conceding these late goals.
Of course.
What is the reason for the late goals, do you think, in the Villa game, in the Chelsea game?
I think just lack of continual concentration, and if you look at most of the teams near the bottom, the managers will probably say exactly what I said, because if you look at the Premier League as a whole, there's not many teams getting slaughtered. Most games are quite even, but the quality at the top end of the league is why they're there. There's slight difference, and we've conceded a lot of late goals this season, and we're not happy about that. But he's right. He's right. If we really do need to stop conceding those late goals and keep concentrating right to the end.
You play West Ham, of course, this weekend. What have you made of the speculation surrounding Sam Allardyce?
To be fair, I haven't paid much attention to it, but I mean, Sam's a seasoned manager. He's very, very good, and in everything he does. And the speculation around him, whether it's true or false, I believe that he's a good manager for any club, anywhere. A big character in the game, and I can't see why there would be any negative press around him, because he's done a good job everywhere he's been.
Do you expect that to have any impact on the game this weekend?
From him or from the club?
Yeah, from your perspective, West Ham mid-table, the season seems to fizzle out. The speculation around the manager, could that have a positive impact from a QPR perspective on this game?
No, I don't think so. I think it's a London derby. I think Sam would always prepare his teams well enough to try to win the game. I think every team in the Premier League does that. That's why the games are always close, regardless whether you're at the top or at the bottom. I don't see any other impact around the speculation with Sam as how the game's going to go. I think it will just be a blood and thunder game as regards it being a London derby, and I think that from our point of view, we need to approach it in a very positive way in order to get the points.
Any fresh injuries or any players returning from injury?
Fresh injuries? No, actually we've had the majority of the squad training the last couple of days. We do still have injuries, obviously, but at the moment the majority of the squad is training.
Is Rio Ferdinand fit to play?
No, he's still nursing a knock, and he's had it a long time, and unfortunately, he's a long-term one that we're missing at the moment.
Is there a chance he may not play again this season?
No, I think he'll be in contention. I think he'll be in contention, but obviously we need fit players to play. And if you have a knock and you can't actually play in the way that you would want to play and help the team, then I think it's the professional thing to do is to try to get yourself fit, which is what he's doing.
If he proves his fitness before the end of the season, because he has openly said this is his last season as a player. Would he be an automatic selection, or might he have played his last game for them?
I don't think there's anything like an automatic selection for anybody. As long as he's fit, he's in contention. As long as he gets himself fit, he's in contention.
And just finally, any update on your long-term future?
No update. You know, I'm fighting to stay in the job, and the club have been very good to me so far. Everything's been good. I'm trying really to put that aside just to focus on staying up. So as far as I'm concerned, I'm in the job, and I'll be in it as long as the club wants me to be in it.
You say trying to put it aside. Has it been a distraction in any way
No.
to you, the players?
No, not at all. Because ultimately, when you have a challenge like we have at the moment, what you have to do is make sure that you focus as much as you can on that challenge. Listen, I would be lying if I haven't said I thought about it. You mean, and you know I'd be lying if I said that. But at the moment, what we want to do is try to make sure that we put the battle and the challenge ahead for the fans and the owners to the forefront of our thinking, and go ahead and try to do that, and make it very, very difficult for them to not give me the job, because if we stay up, then it's going to be a difficult decision for the club to give me or not, well, to not give me the job. But as far as any distractions are concerned, we've tried our best to make sure that we stay on the right path to stay up.
Chris, good luck. Thank you.
Thanks.
Chris, is Leroy Fair in contention to play this week?
Fortunately, he is. I mean, he's not exactly where we'd want him to be, but at the moment, I don't think we're in a position to put him in too much in cotton wool, because we've got the last few games, and sometimes you just need to take a chance on someone who might not be 100% fit. What we're considering is getting that balance between ensuring that he's fit and he doesn't get a reoccurring injury. So he's in contention. He's put his hand up fully to say that he's fully fit, but you know, he said last week that this was a target for him, and we're going to hope and try our best this next couple of days to make sure that he's at least on the bench.
He didn't have much joy in the first half of the season. He was playing on the left wing for a lot of the time, but he was moved into the centre, scored a couple of goals. Is that when you see him playing as a centre midfielder and pushing forward, getting goals from the middle?
Well, I only played him in that one game. Is it one game or two games? Well, anyway, it was the first couple of games, and he did very well. He had 2 games he played at the beginning, and he did very well in that role. So I think that's a role that he's quite comfortable in. I'm not saying he's not going to play in any other positions, but you know, that seems to be where he fits best at the moment.
And Yun, is he available this weekend?
Yeah, Yun's available. He's trained all this week, and he should be available.
After the Chelsea game, you said you wanted to grab Rob Green before he left, that he was blameless, but you were worried that it might get him down. Have you seen any reaction from him in the last couple of weeks?
No, we spoke that evening, and I assured him that there was no reason for him to believe that goal had anything to do with what people regarded as a poor kick. And when he's trained in the same professional manner that he's trained all season, and I'm sure he'll be on top form at the weekend.
Games have come thick and fast for you since you've taken over. I saw your reaction when Chelsea scored. You looked like a man who's almost broken, maybe not completely, but you've had this long 2 weeks. How have you coped with it? Did you get over it quite quickly?
No, I didn't really, because we had a game plan, we stuck to it, and we didn't do it right till the end. And it's more for the players that had ran their absolute legs off for that game and had opportunities really to win the game, far less get a point. But when you're dealing with the players and coaches of the class of Chelsea, you know that you have to be on it right till the end, and we weren't, and we paid the price. Okay,
I'd like to turn your cameras off then, please, unless you're filming for cutaways. Sorry, there's a couple more from Simon.
Chris, do you feel pressure at all? Because he seems to sort of walk around with a big smile on his face.
I think I think you do. You know the enormity of the task ahead, but if you can only plan and prepare the best that you can, and what happens happens. You know, obviously we understand that there's pressure coming up these last few games. I can't say that I don't feel pressure, because I do, but it just depends on how you deal with it. You know, and I think at the moment it's trying to make sure that the players don't feel it, because what happened against Chelsea, you know, everyone was so happy how we had done up until that point that you know, at the last minute, you know, that lack of concentration that we thought we got over the line to at least get a point, you know, it showed that you can't do that. So I'm trying my best to keep them upbeat.
Did you have a tough job first day back in training after that game to lift the morale, or were they already thinking positively?
They were already thinking positively because of their performance, you know, and they knew that they'd performed at a level that would suggest that we're at the wrong end of the table. But obviously the frustrations are there, and obviously the mistakes have to be pointed out, and we have to work on them and make sure that the players who do lack that bit of concentration keep up with the rest of the pack.
A few months ago, would you have looked at the run in these last 5 games with a bit more trepidation than you are now, because all the teams you're facing, arguably Leicester, are all in a bit of a dodgy patch of form?
I think you're always looking, when you're facing a derby, you're always going to look at that as going to be a difficult battle, and then you're looking at Liverpool and Man City. At any stage of the season, they can be formidable and give anybody, top or bottom, you know, a bit of a tough match, or even beat them heavily. So I think looking at those games, I think at any stage of the season, you're looking at that and thinking that's going to be difficult. And then obviously you've got Newcastle, who have got some good players, and they're going through a sticky patch, and they're not going to want to lie down and finish at the bottom half of the table. And then Leicester, it could be anything at the end of the season. You know, we're hoping that worse ways that we're still in the fight to that game. But you know, ideally we'd like to be going there with nothing to play for.
And finally, just on what you've done, and the fact that he's fought back from an injury to make it back, is in a way, at his age, the fact that he's fought so hard to come back in time before the end of the season, a sort of inspiration for the rest of the players, how much he wants to get back to QPR. Absolutely fantastic.
He's been, you know, the injury he had, we thought that he'd probably be out for the whole season, but he's fought well. He's kept himself in shape. He's trained well since he's come back, and I'm really pleased to have him back in the squad.